Do you have anyone smarter around you? While you are studying really hard yet struggling, there are some who don't look like studying seriously but earns much better score than you. When we see these people, we tend to call them genius, without considering why they are so smart. And I wasn't the exception. But one day I quit it, but that made me wonder what makes it so clever. As I learned science, I came to have an idea. There's always cause behind any outcome, so-called cause and effect. So I decided to explore the cause, why they get much better scores with minimum effort. And I found that why. The only difference between me and them was the way to study. They study smarter to be productive and thus get good results. In this video, I'm gonna share with you my 3 tips to study 3 times faster realistically through my own study experience and what I learned from top Japanese students. But before diving into the topic, let's talk about the mindset to study faster. First, don't do meaningless tasks. The major reason why we take time to study is because we spend too much time on doing something meaningless. To avoid this, seek and focus on what you really have to study. People who say they don't like studying are often those who are bad at judging what is necessary for them and try to do everything that will never be used. So narrowing down what you need to study is essential part in the first step. Second, know the difference between study and operation. Operation, what I mean by here is like taking a note, for example. We take a note to organize a concept to understand it. Taking a note itself is not a purpose. Rather, the goal of taking note is to understand it. It's just an approach to achieve that goal. So it's really important not to mix up the goal itself and its approach. But people feel like they have studied a lot by doing this operation because they literally use their hand, take a bunch of time, and work really hard. But that's an illusion. They just wasted time and didn't understand the concept at all. Here, I'll show you the 3 techniques that I developed through my own failure. Tip number 1. Don't just read over and over again. Reading the same text is traditionally accepted as one of the best studying methods. But haven't you felt like you don't understand the concept even though you read through 3 or 4 times? Well, I have, especially when I studied organic chemistry in college. Back in high school, I used to use thin textbook like this. But as I studied in college, the textbook became ridiculously bigger, like a dictionary. When I see this textbook at the first time, I was like, excuse me? Or is this a joke? Because this is just half of the textbook. This is part 1. There is another part 2. And there was a book of text with so many detailed examples, and I didn't know where I was. This is because I was lost in the text and I couldn't find a point in it. It's just like walking in the center of Tokyo without having a map. We need an overview so we know exactly where we are. Also, it has too many pages. It was obvious I didn't have time to read it repeatedly. Here's where internet comes in. The quality of information on the internet is mostly not enough in that it doesn't teach us every detailed content, and that's why we still buy information by paying money on books. However, that low quality helps us in return when getting an overview, because they only tell us the essential part in an understandable way. So I usually search on blog or YouTube whenever I start something brand new. First, take an overview of forest, then look at the tree, and then see its leaves finally. The amount of information we can accept at one time is limited. So we should organize the information step by step and deepen the detailed knowledge later. So when reading a textbook, take an overview on the internet first, and then go for reading to deepen your knowledge. Tip number 2. Don't highlight text. Let's talk about the purpose of highlighting first of all. Why do we highlight? Well, to make things clarify and find a point, right? But for beginners, since they don't have an overview in their head, they don't know where the point is. Like I said earlier, try to construct your overview first of all. But I'm not saying all the highlighting is a bad idea. If we could do it wisely, we can rather save time. Because finding out the specific part in massive amount of information is time consuming. Here's what I often do. Line with highlighter after you read through the textbook, and then write the summary next to it. Like that means blah blah blah, or in short blah blah blah, or to sum up blah blah blah. By doing so, you can avoid highlighting the wrong part and put a sign where the essence in this textbook is. This helps you prevent from reading the same text over and over again, and thus you can study faster. Tip number 3. Don't take a note too much. Many people write too much, but we should know handwriting takes much more time than we expect. Of course, some part of the running that requires logical thinking like physics or math will be much easier if we write down every step, but that's because we easily get lost if we skip even some steps. But for most part of the running, we shouldn't take a note. Instead, we should write down directly on the textbook or a lecture note. By doing so, we don't have to draw graphics from scratch, nor we don't have to draw every single sentences, which is just a waste of time. And by taking a note, we kind of feel like we want to make even more beautiful note, right? But that's gonna be an operation. Making a beautiful note is not a purpose. Adding to that, try to explain orally, because that's gonna be 3 times faster than writing it down, and that means you have 3 times more chance to actually output. By explaining with your own word, you can check how much you understand the concept. There's some exception to take note. Like when it comes to memorizing, it's better to have a note that summarizes the content so you don't have to go back and forth on the textbook. But in most cases, taking a note is not productive. I'm gonna share with you my memorizing techniques at some point, which I haven't seen that much in English content. If you don't want to miss it, hit the subscribe button for notification. Alright, thank you so much for watching until then. How was it? Were there any new perspective for you? In this channel, I want to inspire people that running is really fun through study hack video and science communication. If you have any questions or requests, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay curious. Bye.